Hey, so here we are. We are here. So I'm going to just do a little closing talk here, and I'm going to talk about uh, what happens now, and um, and then I'd love to hear from everyone, hear your experience, your takeaway from this retreat, um, your insights, I've been doing a lot of talking during the retreat, so I'd like to hear your wisdom, your insights. And before I get started, I just want to confirm my audio is good.
Good on my end.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. This is like my fourth microphone I've gone through on this retreat. So, um, okay. So, yeah. So this, what comes up for a lot of people, I've received many messages and, a lot of the same question comes, how do we stay awake? How do we stay awake continuously in life? What happens if my mind comes back? All of that stuff. This worry that I've got something and I'm going to lose it. Um, or how to navigate the matrix life. Um, and this it all comes down to this fundamental truth, fundamental paradox. I started out on this path myself, probably, I guess it was around 2000. Um, I started out in Vipassana meditation, and it was back when they were just kind of getting started in Canada. And at that time, the Dan character was fully in control, and there was a lot of suffering, and I do a retreat, and there was a lot of breakthroughs and a lot of you know stuff happening, purification happening, and for many years um, I was in this sort of cycle where I would do a retreat. The mind would settle, and then I'd go back into life, and my meditation practice would be good for a while. There'd be less suffering, but then bit by bit, it seemed that the mind pattern would creep back. So I go and do another retreat, and there was this cycle of I've got it, I've lost it, and a lot of people fall into this. We fall into this, until there's something fundamental that shifts or lands for us. So we're always looking for the next retreat, the next workshop, the next teaching, whatever it is. It doesn't, the mind just, it always wants the next thing. It always wants more. Um, so this question, how do I stay awake continuously in life? You know, we really have to ask who is trying to stay awake continuously. Who's asking that question? Who is trying to integrate what they've learned at this retreat, or what's been experienced here. Even that idea of integration, like what is being integrated with what by what, you know? So the one that's trying to stay awake, the one that's trying to hold something, to hold a state, or this is the delusion of the mind. The awareness is always here. It can't be attained, it can't be held because it's always here. The one trying to hold it is the false I. It's the little self. Um, so our true nature is never lost. It's never found. The mind will always miss it. And this is the fundamental delusion of the mind. As I've said, there's only one thing for the mind to learn. And that's when it comes to being awake, when it comes to realizing the truth of who and what you are, the mind has no capacity. It has no role. Whatever it's doing is the opposite. It's just, it's perpetuating the illusion that there's something that it can do to attain awakening. Um, so once again, a don't know mind. This is the mind learns to somehow relax, to remain a don't know mind. And if we get that, this is the root of the I thought. If we get it, it's the end of seeking and, the end of the seeker. It doesn't mean it's not the end of sadhana, but this end of seeking is a significant step. It means when we really get that the mind can't do it, in our inquiry, in our meditation, this is the end of techniques. It's the end of some activity that we could call meditation or self-inquiry. Um, so then our sadhana just becomes being, just by being, just by abiding, in presence. This ongoing purification happens, and hopefully now by doing the dyads, you're getting a real sense of how this works. We intend to directly experience, you know, or you could say we're just being. We're just being. And when we are just being, it initiates this clearing process. So, whatever is unconscious in the mind body will come up to be seen, to be experienced fully, so it can be released. And this is the path, the pathless path. You know, so this ongoing sadhana or clearing the mind, this once we really get that, once we we've stopped seeking, this is actually the beginning of potentially a more accelerated form of sadhana, where that little doer isn't mediating our meditation anymore. We can just abide as the self. Um, as Krishnamurti said, he was asked, what is the ultimate secret? And he said, I'm just okay with what is. I'm just okay with what is. Or, Byron Katie said the same thing. Even better, love what is. You know, whatever's arising. Um, this awareness is not separate from love. Like true love, the divine love, the love that is true direct connection with what is arising. So whatever is arising, pain, pleasure, all of it, we we come to understand this mind that labels good and bad is not really us, you know, and let that go. So yeah, so this question, of going back into life, the worry of that character, you know, how do I navigate it? Well, that little character that wants to navigate it, um, we can let that one go and allow something else to come through, life to come through. There's a trust in the flow of life, a trust that life is happening. It sounds like a cliche, but it's true. Life is happening for you, not to you. If we can trust that whatever's coming, um, is happening for you, um, then we don't need to navigate so much. We can actually have this beautiful curiosity about life, about how it's going to unfold this story, and just um, when we're not trying to navigate, then we're not falling into that old script, the robotic script, my will, craving, aversion, um, all the patterns of the character. Um, once we see those patterns of the mind, of the character, um, then it's not happening unconsciously. Um, and when we go back into the world from this retreat, we've been really observing the mind and its patterns and seeing what's in play. So you'll see the patterns as they come up. You'll see the mind patterns, the character patterns. I remember going back to the world from various retreats. You know, there was one time coming back from the Zen center, and I was in a very different relationship back then, and I watched, the Dan character kind of reactivate, going back into that relationship, into life. There were codependent kind of patterns coming up. These little frictions between the characters and but after the retreat, after the Zen center, after realizing who I am, there was this space, and I just watched, and literally I remember um, starting to engage in one of these silly conversations, codependent relationship kind of conversations, and I felt everything, felt the contraction in the body. It was like the energy going back and being squeezed into a little box, and we can feel that, and it literally, the pattern dropped, like mid-sentence, something dropped, so that can happen. We can go back and really catch um, what's in play in our life in a very tangible, meaningful way. Um, yeah, so we just continue, like the what we're doing here doesn't have to end. This, life can become a dyad. We can continue to make the unconscious conscious. Um, just noticing if we're resisting any part of life, pushing any part of our self away. So, I think I'll talk a little bit about, some of the some of the things that come up after a retreat. One thing, if we've freed a lot of energy, that energy can kind of go wild after the retreat. So sometimes, if that little character is activated, it can be super activated. It's like it feels like it's been in prison for 7 days. So now it's out of prison and it can do all the things again. Um, but yeah, so we did just be mindful, of that. That's a very common thing. Um, yeah, that energy can just go wild. So we can, the more we can sort of gradually transition, and if you can, you know, keep meditating, keep inquiring, spend time in nature, try make that transition a little smoother, so it's not like, you know, turning on the machine and the character comes back to life. Um, and and be mindful sharing. If you have people in your life, you might be excited about what's unfolded at this retreat, or talking about it with others. But it's important to um, hold the highest truth as very protect it, because we have direct experience, and then we have sort of the energy that we're left with from that experience. We that it changes us, it rewires us. But then even back from that, we have just the memory, the story of what happened. The story of some experience, or so we want to um, stay as close to that direct experience as possible. Um, so if we just go into the story, start talking about the spiritual path, sometimes it's a way that the mind can appropriate our our awakening experience, or just gives the mind power. So just be mindful talking to others. It's beautiful to share, but also, I remember trying to explain to my parents, what happened at uh, at the Zen Center, and very quickly I was back in my mind, like trying to explain it, and it's like the energy just went whoosh, like dropped. So yeah, so just be mindful of that. Um, the I usually talk about this thing. It's in the esoteric traditions. They talk about they call it the general law. The general law is the sort of uh, you could say the gravity, or the orbit of the general consciousness. And when we start to move out of that orbit, it will sort of pull us back in. So we've at this retreat we've moved out of that orbit, um, but there is a strong pull. There's a density, um, so we go back to the people we know, and we might not be participating in the usual dramas the way we normally would. Um, so they might say, what's up with you? Like you're not you're they might feel that you're not yourself, you're not, or they might feel that you're unloving, because you're not feeding the pattern. But it's, that idea of love is just connected to perpetuating the character. You know, most of what passes for love in our society, as we know, is it's more clinging and attachment. Um, but true love is to um, you know to let everything be as it is, recognizing it as the one, just unfolding. Um, so whatever unfolds out there, you know, the one of the biggest lessons for me is the greatest challenges I've ever faced in life have turned out to be the very things that I resisted the most, like getting really sick, almost dying, um, took me so deep into meditation and inquiry, and it turned out to be the greatest blessing. So we really don't know whatever's unfolding in our life. It's like that story about the horse. It's We want to be like that wise farmer. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I really don't know. But it's happening for me. So, whatever's happening, we can turn it to our advantage, um, by allowing it to be as it is. You know, using it as an opportunity to um, disidentify from the whole field of changing phenomena. So it's not always it's not about feeling better, or you know it's like that saying. I think it was there's this. It's a really neat course called the presence process, um, and one of the little sayings in there is it's not about feeling better, but it's about getting better at feeling. So feeling life, the good, the bad, opening the heart to all of it. Um, and then, just being willing to let the external world change, to let it reflect the truth of who you are. So this is kind of a paradox. You know, on one hand, when we're awake, when we're aware of who we are, our happiness is not contingent on anything in the external world. You know, so nothing has to change. Like some people think, oh, I have to break all my patterns and leave my wife or whatever it is. And so if you think anything has to change in the external world, for you to be free and happy, um, that's the mind. The true happiness flows from being awake, being aware, from awareness itself. It's the fountain of all peace, love, happiness. Um, so nothing has to change, but at the same time, if it might change, we have to be willing to let it change at the same time. If there's things that we're holding on to, um, and that life energy, if it's not in the flow of that life energy, then that'll it has to change. We can't go back. We can't stay in that box. Um, so this is the paradox, and once again, there's a middle way. Um, you know, so our outer world, comes to support the natural state, the state of presence, and um, so that means putting in place what we know will um, allow us to stay awake, to not go back to sleep. For me, at one time it was creating a meditation center. I really felt strongly like it was clear. If I really want to be awake in this life, if I create a meditation center where I'm doing retreats all the time and put myself in this space, then there's a better chance of it happening. Yeah. So yeah, so Ramana Maharshi, he talked about this vigilance that is never ending, that goes on, and yeah, there's an ongoing maintenance for the mind, the self structure. It's like tending to a garden where we just don't want to let the weeds, get overgrown. So we want to keep this vessel clear, keep the mind clear. Um, so um, yeah, checking in with the mind and body and um, just abiding in presence. Burning up whatever whatever is has become pushed into the unconscious, and this is ongoing. Those seeds of delusion, the I thought, can continue to grow. So we just want to continue self-inquiry, meditation, whatever your practice is. You know, Anything can be used as sadhana if it's interrupting that pattern of view. So it might be whatever, breath work, ecstatic dance, a music, doing music. You know, if it's not for any purpose, but it's for the direct experience, then um, yeah, anything can become sadhana. Yeah, so this ongoing vigilance to just stay awake. So it's not a vigilance to do something. It's a vigilance to just be. We're going from you know the human doing to a human being. Um, yeah, and the vigilance is really the vigilance for the mind to remember that one thing. To remember its place, to be a servant and not the master. So yeah, falling back into seeking is such a common thing after these retreats. We forget that it's here now. Um, so we can still use the techniques. It's not like we have to throw out anything. We can use the techniques, and it doesn't mean we have to burn all the books, but just don't think that the mind is not going to find the truth in those books, in those sutras, in those scriptures. Um, those are beautiful pointers. They're all pointing to what's here now. Um, so we can use those pointers, but as they say, it's a finger pointing at the moon. So we don't want to get stuck looking at the finger. You know, as Alan Watts said, we suck on the finger for comfort. Um, we want to see what it's pointing to. So whether that's you know watching talks by different teachers on YouTube, Rupert Spira, Angelo DeLullo, Helen Hamilton, The Awaken the World site has all these resources on it, tons of pointers, but they're all pointing to what's here now. It's all the same pointer. All of these libraries full of spiritual books, it's kind of what's completely ridiculous, really. They're all pointing to the truth that's here now. Yeah. So yeah, and I'm just going to mention a couple more things before we go to the group. So this dyad process. One of the things that has been really helpful in my own relationship is uh, really understanding how this clearing process works. And Charles Berner actually, the one who came up with the dyad process, he talked about uh, how this can be applied in a relationship. So the clearing process is a way to instead of being on the level of mind in a relationship, we can clear the mind. You know, so if we enter into the clearing process with a partner, it's a really valuable tool um, for our life. And we can do that with anybody, our friends, our family, our partner. Um, so when we do that, we can just say, if we have to explain it to them, they have to be on board with it. So they have to understand that, instead of going into some sort of friction or the usual pattern, we can say, I have something to clear. I have something to clear. And then so then the person who's listening becomes the witness, and we just express whatever's coming up in the mind and body. And in relationships, we tend to lay blame or accuse or evaluate and analyze. But we can just say, this is what's coming up in the mind and body right now. So it's not that I necessarily believe it, but this is what's coming up, and it just needs to be cleared. And if we do that with our partner, um, or whoever it is, um, if they don't evaluate, normally what's coming up in the mind, people will react and respond and evaluate. But if somebody can hold that witness, you know, and then just say, thank you, you know, thank you for sharing it. Um, that process can change the life. It can change the relationship drastically, and both sides can do it. Um, and there's always things that need to be cleared. Um, so it's a beautiful tool to take into your life, and then, if we can do that, if we can clear the mind, um, and we're not, instead of believing the thoughts, and the thoughts are usually, wanting something to be other than what it is, trying to change something in the external. So if we can stop believing those thoughts, stop, believing that something in the external will actually make a difference for my happiness, then, it's like we become a self-propelled wheel. We become autonomous in our happiness, our bliss, um, and this ongoing clearing process can, take us to deeper and deeper levels of that. Um, and we can do, the same self-inquiry just on our own as well. We don't have to do it with a partner. Um, just by just whether we call it meditation or self-inquiry, to me, ultimately, it's one and the same. Um, so we can simply be. If we want to know how to do, I think somebody asked, how do I do this self-inquiry on my own? So it's the same process as in the dyad, just intending to directly experience the awareness that's here, just being. And then, the mind will, something in the mind and body will move eventually, and we just make it conscious without resistance, just allowing everything to be as it is. Um, so really no doing, you know, burning it up, you could say. Yeah. So just being aware, just being, letting it burn, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So life, this can be applied to life itself. Life becomes sadhana, um, taking us into deeper union with whatever's coming up. We, this imperative we've been working with, tell me who you are, frees you from the delusion of the character, or the delusion that you were ever not free. The delusion, the true delusion is, awareness was never in prison. you know and then, we can start to explore. Once we know who we are, we can start to explore then what we are. We can so we become free of the character and the matrix, but then we can go back in, and realize that actually I am not too. I'm whatever it is, we can be in direct experience with everything. you know and this is what the Sufis speak about. Wherever I look, there's the face of God. To realize directly, is, to be in samadhi, that you are that too. You are, the one, the many, not one, not two. So, I think, there's a few more things I'll say here. I think, this whole enlightenment project really is, it's just something for the character. I think it's so important um, to realize that, there's nothing in the future, that ultimately has to happen. We're, awareness is here, so we're already, um, that which we seek. The awareness that we seek is here, and yet there is this time-bound part that is developing. Um, Somehow it feels like, whatever this human experience is, the whole human part of it is evolving. It is somehow coming closer to that, truth of what we are. It's like the vessel becomes, um, more expanded, um, you know, able to catch more of life, until we expand so far that we're everything, you know. So, so there are these, there's the awareness that's here now, which is everything and nothing. And somehow, the time bound part is like a flower that's growing, expanding endlessly, opening, to become, so to me, you know, that timeless and the time bound, as we grow on the path, they converge, they come together. So this, what they talk about in Christianity, the kingdom, there was that Bible quote, and I think somebody asked Jesus one time, "When will the kingdom come?" And Jesus said, it doesn't come by looking for it. Um, we don't we don't look here or there to find it. The kingdom is just always here. He said, it's spread out upon the earth, but we just don't see it. Yeah. So it's not, when we talk about a new earth or all of that, it's not a future event to be, anticipated, and it's your present reality right now. The world of samsara and nirvana are one and the same. It's when we drop the I thought, it's right here. It's all right here. So yeah, so I just before we dive into sharing just some closing things, I really want to thank and acknowledge everyone who helped to make this happen. Um, Lila's been answering all your emails, doing all kinds of things behind the scenes, signing people up. Um, the facilitators, it's amazing. They just show up. They're doing this from their hearts. So Sheila, Lara, Nassim, Yana, Joy, Bill, Zoo, Katrina, Christopher, Lisa, anyone else I'm missing, probably missing someone, but they're not getting paid to facilitate. They're here from their heart. They're following their guidance and their own paths. So thank you to them. Thanks to Tayama, Alex, our tech hosts, with their amazing skills keeping everything working in the dyads. There's a lot of techie stuff and just a lot of logistics to all of that. So thank you. Um, the schedule page will be left up after the retreat, so you'll always have access to it. Um, the breathwork session from Chad yesterday, we put it up on YouTube, and YouTube flagged it for copyright because of the music in it. So we've already put up a version Dropbox link to that for the replay on that. After the retreat, I have a big email that I generally send. I've got all kinds of links. I'll connect you with Chad. Um, Bill Free is offering a um, four session kind of dyad workshop mini series this month. So starting on January 8th, it's every week. He'll be doing 2 hour sessions. So it'll be just like what we've been doing each night. So it's a perfect follow up after the retreat. And I'll put that link to that. It's a beautiful offering. So that'll be in the newsletter as well. Um, and there's a find a dyad partner page on Awaken the World community site. I'll put that in. And I'll be giving you lots of resources as well. So yeah, so I'd love to hear your takeaways and your insights from the retreat. So yeah, why don't we open it up to you guys?
Sounds great. Theo, you had your hand up first.
Hi, Dan. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Yes.
Dan, I will remember this retreat by four words from my dyad partner.
Mm.
How funny is that? Something needs to give.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
When my dyad partner, Angie, spoke those four words, tears began to come from my eyes, stream from my eyes.
Mhm.
Had my mind taken, I heard it with my heart, not with the ears of my mind.
Yeah. Mhm.
Had the ears of my mind heard it, it would have sounded like something needs to give so that this I can break out of this container. What is it? Where is this I? But my heart heard it. And my heart heard that something deep within me needed to give.
Mm. Beautiful.
And it unpeeled the layers of a deep, decades old core psychological trauma issue that's been carried around like a brick in my chest
Mm.
for decades. And it unpeeled the top layer, which was anger and arrogance and intolerance that was hiding the hurt underneath. And it unpeeled and it went through the hurt underneath with all these images and memories coming up with solutions from love on how to heal them or re-engage with them or what was hurt. And what was opened up was this, what was felt was this essential need to express that love directly. And it was just beautiful, and it's still unfolding.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Something needs to give. Yeah.
Something needs to give.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I just want to say, you are needed, even with the remnants of your ego, because you are genuine, because you are a true consciousness buddy.
Thank you.
Your ego is a doorway to liberation.
Mm.
And it wonderfully compels you to be in the trenches with us at base camp on this journey into awareness, this trek towards liberation, where you're in the trenches with us, making sure we're harnessed, making sure the ropes are tight, making sure the posts are stuck in there so that those who are not quite have their proper footing yet can hold on to something while they're still searching the right route. Even while 100 or 200 or 300 yards away, we can see Wim Hof going up his path on the frozen side of the mountain in his bare feet and underwear. Even as Tony Parsons is on the top of the mountain there, looking down, laughing, saying, "There's no one here. What are you doing? There's nothing to do." Even as the Tibetan Buddhists are prostrating tens of thousands of times before they begin their step-by-step journey up the mountain, prostrating between each step.
Mm-hmm.
Even while in the Zendo, they're doing their symmetrical movements, they're perfectly timed movements and walking around with a stick. You're there in the trenches with us. It's different. I have to tell you, it's different than the other teachers or it's different than others who are guiding. They're not, you are consciously moving with us through the ego, clear enough to see through the fog. And this is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I know you don't want to hear this, but only a bodhisattva would have the spiritual audacity to create a website called Awaken the World.
Mm-hmm.
Naive to the scope of its intentions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are loved. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Theo. It's amazing how you turn up first at the end of every retreat. I don't know how that happens, but
I didn't think it was going to happen this time, and then it just like happened.
Yeah. Fascinating. Wow. Beautiful share. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Theo. Next in line is Leo.
Hello, Dan.
Hi, Leo.
I just want to share my thankfulness. It was so hard for me in this retreat, what was coming up and what still is happening. But one thing I can take with me in my daily life process, that thoughts are manipulating my life very strongly. These beliefs, whatever is coming out, it has something to do with the belief. What more I can say, and in the moment, and this is for me very beautiful to see. Even it is painful, and it's also painful to stay away. I feel it's nearly impossible to let it happen, because there's something, it's such a fog and such mind process. I'm not so well in the words, but I just want to say thank you to all of us. And yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Leo. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll call upon Michelle.
Hi, Dan.
Hi,
You hear me?
Michelle.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Well, I think Theo is the number one. He sort of sums it up for me. I somehow always end up with no question or nothing to say, because when I really think about it, look at it, this disappears. But something has been coming up again and again. I just want to put it out, which is, it's very simple, but it's not just a little insight. It has been coming up for years, more or less. And it's the following thing. It's like, it's not the underdog, the ego. You know, we chop its head off. It has not real existence. It is close to being useless. There's all these judgments on it. I don't have that. And maybe part of it is because I've been so judgmental towards myself for so many years. I've been practicing for about 40 years, I guess, and that has always been such an issue. And I have befriended this ego. More than that, it's I've become one with it. It is I'm grateful. It is of such beauty to feel how this ego has always only done its best to protect me, to help me through. Yeah, and then I got lost in it time and again, but that's another story. So I just want to put that out, and I love to put it out here and directly to you, because it's such it's something completely fell into place. Not just now; it has been more. It's finally the dog turns and turns and turns, and then finally lays down. It has happened somehow. So I was wondering, it's so real. In your view, have I now completely lost my mind, or um,
No, no, you're expressing it beautifully. I think this is like to me the ego is simply these patterns of resistance to what is. So the paradox with all of it is when we don't resist that ego anymore, it's not an ego anymore because the resistance is the ego. So this is the paradox. So you're describing it beautifully. So by loving even that, just allowing it, like then it just becomes part of me. It becomes part of like the team. It's like yeah, that's it. So that's beautifully expressed. Yeah, thank you.
thank you, Dan. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We're going to call upon Louis next.
Hi, Louis.
Hi there. Let me just hide myself. Can I do that? Self?
What's up?
No,
No.
I couldn't hide myself view. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Yes.
no, I think you're spotlighted for the group.
Okay. Yeah. No, no, Theo, no one can top Theo's speech. It was great. But no, I really want to thank you and the team for creating this retreat. Yeah, it's especially it's around the world. It's accessible around the world. Like I'm in Hong Kong here, just like 13-hour difference.
Wow,
Yeah, I
amazing.
it's oh shit. Yeah, like it'd be a 14-hour flight. And I was surprised the diets work so well on Zoom. Like I had questions. The guy I wanted to join your retreat in in Canada before, but it's like, oh wow, it's online. And yeah, and yeah, so I'm really grateful for that. And it's definitely a retreat that's in this lifetime I'll remember. It's through Christmas, it's through New Year's, and I was like going through a lot, 4-year breakup, just a month, lots of anxiety, and I had to rent a hotel here, to be secluded for 7 days. And you can imagine it's a small room. It's and I think on the third day I was like, okay, I better, like I had so much anxiety. I was like, okay, the jet lag and everything at the time. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave tomorrow. That's it. I can't continue with it. And then there was a diet at evening time here, which just I saw something and I was like, okay, I better continue. And and as I shared, there's this piece that's been pretty much here since. And I went out for hikes and for a hike today, and I've been testing this piece with, it comes and goes, but I'm trying to test it, like see how it is. And it's amazing because it's like if some negative feelings come up and I go back to the inquiry, the energy comes back and it kind of like diffuses it. And while it's not like what I've read, it's like, which is like, oh, the oneness, blah blah. It's not like wow, but maybe it's like, because it's like the mind is so much more quiet. So when I'm walking outside, I'm like, things are brighter, they're more clear. There are people walking by and someone was complaining, and normally I'd be like, oh, this is negative, but I was like, no, because I kind of recognize whatever I recognize is also in the other person. So I was like, oh, it's like a diet. Like she's just talking. She's clearing herself, really.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Like the more we start to see our own dialogue in our own mind, we recognize it in others and we don't get caught in it then. We just see,
No.
like that's,
And I know that, if she had the guidance to access that awareness, it's there for her too.
yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. And yeah, to me, that's where compassion really is, because we see past the character then
Yeah.
in others. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like laughing as I'm
Yeah.
hiking
Yeah.
and all that.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, yeah. I mean, I wrote down a lot. There's just too much insights here, but you mentioned a lot of things that we can do to continue on the journey. Do you have actually a book on the samskaras, on skandhas?
I don't I could put something like it comes from traditional Buddhism. So, there's a lot of the main, like the Pali Canon and all of that it's where
Okay.
it comes from. So,
Because I think you
uh,
explained it really
mhm,
well, so I
mhm,
think it'd be really good to have if you did a
mhm.
book or something. I don't
Yeah, yeah. Someday I'm going to make a video just on the Skandhas, I think.
know. Okay,
But
it's perfect.
yeah, but I can put some references in the email
Yeah,
on that.
great.
Yeah.
And can people who have not done this retreat do diets? Like, because not everyone can spend so many days, and
Yeah,
like,
the
is
the
there a
main the
way?
main thing is like really like there are so in the Charles Burner world, like who the guy who created this back in the 60s, there's still some remnants of that world going out there. So they call them enlightenment intensives. So if you Google enlightenment intensive, there are groups of people still doing these dyads. I have a ton of links on the Awaken the World community page in the self-inquiry section with links to whatever's going on out there as well. And Bill Free is doing you know, doing them every week as
Yes.
well. So
Okay.
so yeah, so there are people out there doing them. There's a guy named Murray who's really good. He does ongoing ones as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
I love the diets because I couldn't do
Yeah.
any meditation, like it's just all in the mind, but the
Mhm.
diets just, open
Yeah,
things up.
yeah, it's powerful.
And
And now you know the technique, so you just
yeah,
find a friend or whoever, and just get them, teach it to them, and
yeah. Like I
then
can sit a long time now in a meditation because of the diet, because I'm
that's
like
amazing.
the meditation has become different.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, to me,
Yeah.
when you really get that the self-inquiry and the meditation become one,
Yeah, they're like the same.
yeah, then once you get that, that's a huge turning point in meditation.
Yeah, yeah.
Then there's
So I
there's
say
no
this
more
is,
doing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
great. Like lastly, just like Theo said, I think he put it better. Like what you're doing is just it's it's really great. Like I've been doing spiritual work since 2015, like going around, and like in Hong Kong, there has been, because it's very material. There's so much spirituality that's about manifesting. It's attracting a lot of people because they want to manifest money, relationships on that.
Yeah.
And I've even helped these teachers work behind, and so I kind of know what's going on. And
Mhm.
often unfortunately it's different from the back than the front,
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
when you're there. So what you're doing is really like what this is all about. So I don't know, because I've just quit my job a while ago. I have a lot of free time, and I'm just feeling this energy to see what can be done. Maybe there's some flow of something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
yeah. Stay connected, and if
yeah.
you think of something, yeah, let us know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Louis. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll call upon Sammy.
Hey Dan,
Hi, Sammy.
uh, I want to thank you and Lila and whole team and everyone. This really, really intense and but a beautiful journey. I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity to be here. And there was loads of resistance and patterns which was uh, revealed, and few really big purges. Uh, and today's meditation what was arising was the pain and uh, pain and what is the word? I lost it. Uh, uh, Pleasure. Pain and pleasure are the same, but there is only the resistance. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the pattern. Yeah. Yeah, that's the endless cycle of suffering, really. The whole self-structure is wrapped up in that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, there is there has been so many things that there is not time to talk about all of them, but I'm just like so grateful, and I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you. We will go to Ivan.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes. I haven't.
I I want to say thank you for this opportunity. Life was giving me the right thing at the right moment because I started for the first time in my life to meditate, and 15 days later I found you, and
Wow.
the seminar was 2 days or 3 days, something like that.
Wow. Amazing.
Sí, and so everybody, including you, Lila, Tayama, and everybody is full of love, but full of love. I remember my meditation in the no, my diet in the last diet all, and you were my facilitator. And when I saw in the top of my screen that Dan is with me, I was, oh my God, so scared. And I said immediately, my character is too scared. And you say, your character or you, or something like that. But you had this way to navigate. And you told me to samadhi. When I had 25 years or something like that, I was with one person like you, but different. And in one retreat that she had, she was to present me, and I was totally lost. And since that, I had looking for coming back and feeling the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not look enough. But that was my point of comparison to know it, if it I was in samadhi or not. I wouldn't say that I was in a profound samadhi because I was not. But I know that I touched the border, that I touched the dintel of the door.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully you have an idea now of how it works as well. You know, the mind doesn't have to do anything, you know. It's really just that unhooking from the mind. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is one question that I wanna do for my practice in the days that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
One of the persons with one of my dayas said something. The character that is not said in this word, but is the meaning. The character has to control and has to have the mind in control, and that is not an easy task. And that got me thinking, and I discovered that I love the character, but I don't know if it's good or bad to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the character is been doing that for many, many years. Not only my 61 years in this planet, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, he has the battle lost. I won. I had the battle won because I won today, or I won tomorrow, or I won between the 7 or more years. But I won. But it has the battle lost. And I was trained to everybody to hate it.
To
But
hate the character, or
the character, the
yeah,
character.
yeah.
But is it bad to love it?
So to me, when we know who we are, it's the same as love, because there in that awareness, there's no resistance. You know, so when there's no resistance, everything, any energy just flows. So, you know, so that character is just a resistance. That's all it is it's a collection of patterns of resistance. So when we love it, there's no resistance. So the character is just part of the world of phenomena. Then there's no sense of me in it anymore. if there's a sense of I in that character, then there's a resistance. But so if we love, so it doesn't matter what word we use, we can say, being okay with what is or loving what is, but whatever makes us drop that resistance, that's it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What what do I have in order to send my testimony to you, because you had several testimonies in your page, but I want my testimony to be
Thank you.
there.
Thank you. Yeah, part of what we'll send out is it's a questionnaire. So you could leave it on there. That would be amazing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
One more thing.
Mhm.
That these links and these recordings are all in the page.
Yes.
The page is going to stay
Yeah, the page is going to stay. Yeah. So all the people who are part of the retreat, they can access that page. Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, forever, as long as the site is there. Hopefully forever. Yeah. Yeah. Like we're not going to take it down. Yeah.
I suggest that you put your references in the page, so we don't lose time and energy reading material that is not for. You understand me?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. It's a good pointer. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Just a quick note, we have 15 sets of hands up. We have less than 40 minutes to go, and it's so beautiful to hear all your shares. So if we keep it to a couple minutes each, then we'll get to hear everybody, which would be really awesome. And we're going to go to Sharon next.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Dan. So I will honor Tayama's request. And since I'm a very shy person, that won't be too difficult. I appreciate your compassion and love and patience that really came across in this retreat. And yes, I had a realization, a small one, of my true nature.
Beautiful.
So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, thank you.
And I agree with Theo that he said it so eloquently, that you're in the trenches with us in the boot camp.
Mm.
And not many people are able to do that are spiritual leaders. And thank you for that.
Thank you. I love it in the trenches. I get to go through, it feels like I get to go through the awakenings again each time someone else does. So it's a beautiful process. Yeah. It's nowhere, to me, this is where the action is on planet Earth. Yeah.
Well, it takes a special person to do that, really.
Thank you.
And thank you to Lila for your beautiful, beautiful voice. That just goes to my heart.
Wow.
And thank you, Tayama, and Leo, for your many, many hours of tech just being on all the time. And you definitely deserve a long vacation, all of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alex, you're up.
Hello, Dan.
Hi, Alex.
I just want to thank you so much. And your team, and just for putting this together. Um, you know, yesterday was the first time I went to bed, and all I could do was be, as opposed to thinking.
Mm.
And this energy radiated from from my head. I felt like I was oscillating, and I want to thank all my diet partners. I realized, regardless of who they were, I could see myself in them, and I'm just extremely grateful. So thank you so
Mm.
much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank
Alex. Ildiko.
Hi.
Hi, Ildiko.
I'm just sitting here and just feeling a lot of love and appreciation that is a flowing felt experience. There is this presence that stays. It feels really nice. There were a lot of extracting and digging in the making. Beautiful insights and revelations and crumbles and bursts and explosions and fire. It is all felt deeply and not missing a second of it. Just following a thread and teaching the mind to have the don't know mind. It tries to go in and out to find some doors or so, but it knows. It knows that it doesn't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just a
Amazing.
patterning and yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay. And one more thing that my mind wants to share is that this morning, after yesterday's, just it was a massive opening in my mind's eye and creativity that I was not having access to before.
Wow.
It was literally one single technique that helped open a massive door. Yeah.
Which technique was it?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that in my previous share. It was the technique about seeing, hearing.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Seeing with the mind eye, so not just seeing when it projects, but seeing when it suggests, like almost like floating, or it was a bit indistinct before. And with that technique, I was literally like, what? And another veil opened, and that was leading to the childlike fractal cartoons. So I let go of all the child attachments, and I just went into this other door where I've seen something that I never, ever, ever imagined.
Wow. Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So my mind knows that there is wisdom, and it's not its wisdom. It's
Yeah.
not the mind wisdom, but it's the universe's wisdom, and it's
Yeah.
perfectly fine that way. Yeah. It doesn't have to know or figure out or find a way or suffer or let go, or it doesn't have to do it anymore. It knows. It's
Yeah.
just continuous practice, staying present with it.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's somehow at that still point, that is the creative source of everything. So when we just allow the mind to be open at that still point, everything is there. Yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, before I say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything, is that I am now practicing or developing this pod mind. That's the word I would use it as to describe the pod mind. Pod is just, it's protected, it's safe, it feels voluminous and luscious, and it's not edgy. It's just nice things. The pod which just protected and
Mhm.
cared for,
Mhm.
safe. Yeah.
Mhm. Nice. Nice. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ildiko.
Thank you, Ildiko. We'll call upon Nika. Maybe she has put her hand down. Lisa M. There, I believe she has put her hand down as well. Christina.
Oh, I'm not hearing any sound here. There's you're
Yeah,
mute.
me either.
Yeah, and
Christina.
I've lost the image here as well. Just one sec. Oh, there she is. Yeah. Hi, Christina.
Hi. So I just wanted to thank you for giving my voice back. I'm still nervous, but I can speak and say that I'm so grateful for being here for a third time.
Mm.
And every retreat has just been just accelerated healing.
Mm.
And I'm going to nickname you Guruji because honestly, your patience. And I said in one of the dyads yesterday, it's like it's a container of light. So it's like whatever darkness there is, it's just like pinging open.
Mm.
And the advice that I can give other people coming into a future retreat is doing the work beforehand, because it just sets you up for, I think, greater healing within the actual retreat rather than coming in with a busy mind. Even though
Mhm.
I had a busy mind when I got here, it was there to actually show me the things that I needed to see.
Mhm.
Um,
Did you do
I
a preparation before the retreat?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I started to get my practice diminished a little bit,
Hmm.
and so I started to get this busy mind again. And I thought I don't want to get into this retreat with that same mindset.
Hmm.
And so I posted Helen Hamilton's work, and I thought it didn't resonate with me the first time I saw it, but then it was just like I was listening to her talks, and my heart was just opening, and I just spent 2 weeks doing her work,
Hmm.
and
Amazing. Yeah.
it just and had satsang with her once, and it just yeah, it was meant to be.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't quite do the flip in this one, but it didn't matter because there was just so much that was being shown to me. Even Chad's breath work yesterday was similar to, I had a really bad ayahuasca about 2 years ago, and it was only because the mind was so busy. But one of the things that came out was stubbornness. And then in Chad's thing yesterday, my breath stopped for probably 2 minutes and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, well, do I breathe? And then this thing came out and it said stubborn. And then the music is like, that medicine music. And it was very much took me back into the ayahuasca experience. And then the dyads that followed showed me where I was holding that stubbornness because I couldn't figure out where in my life it was. But it showed me that I was being stubborn with my own illness and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's beautiful.
Everything sort of synergized then, those different practices. Yeah, that's amazing.
I feel like I'm already healed without actually feeling the symptoms. I mean, feeling the actual physical. The physical doesn't need to go. I actually already feel healed at the moment. Entirely grateful and thank you for all you do, and thank you to everyone, Tayama and all the facilitators. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Thank you. One thing I'd like to mention also about that flip, sometimes it doesn't it doesn't happen over and over. Sometimes it's just about we go in more smoothly as we start to integrate that into our life. So, so if we're looking for that flip every time, the mind's looking for that experience, but it may not, it may be more just like a gradual acclimatization. And sometimes that doesn't happen again. So, yeah.
That's how it felt because there was so much. It's midnight here at the moment, so I'm so tired. But yesterday, after Chad's breath work just pushed out, because this whole retreat's just been about letting go of resistance. And then it was like, because I'd let go, his breath work was just like pushing the muck out.
Yeah.
And so it just left this expansion of just joy. So it was like I was looking for the flip, not realizing that, like what you're saying, I didn't need it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just the mind, whatever the mind remembers from that experience, it only remembers the experience part. But that awareness is always here. So that awareness, is waking up, or the veil is getting thinner as we do this work. So it's not whatever the mind's looking for, it's never that. So yeah.
And sorry, just one more thing. Sorry, Tayama, but the one thing that I'm finding challenging is when thoughts come up, you're supposed to be aware of them. And sometimes I'm aware of the whole thought, but I don't know, I found yesterday there's like an entity that I can't see that pops up, and it actually showed me yesterday. It popped up and actually shot my thoughts before it could actually finish the thought. So I can't actually witness the whole thought. And so yeah, so I just thought, yeah, that was a bit, yeah, so that's just something that I'm finding a bit challenging because it's like something's preventing me from seeing the thoughts.
Whatever that is, if you just, the practice is to just make it conscious. So whatever that is, just that's what's presenting. So explore that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. And I found Lisa. I found her. She's back.
Oh, hi, Lisa.
Hey, oh, wow. So I don't even know where to begin. The thankfulness and gratitude to you and Lila and the rest of the team is just amazing. Yeah, it was so awesome watching so many people. And in the last couple of days, I think I was so grateful and so excited for so many people, and my promptings became quite, yeah, I think maybe for a few people I might have been I don't know. I was going to say I might have been a little bit too much, but I could see so many on the edge, and this desire to have them see the truth was very strong. It was such an organic process, though. There's complete confidence in how it all worked out. As you would always say, no matter how it happened, is just exactly what was supposed to happen. So I'm grateful for everybody I got to work with and observe was so wonderful. So I wanted to thank everybody for being here and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and be watched and prompted and be open and willing. And I wanted to say one more thing about this journey here, which has been amazing. And yeah, there have been so many little awakenings, and there have been a number of very unusual experiences and so forth and so on. And none of it really has been much like anything I've ever read or heard. So there's that. I wanted to encourage everybody to not get stuck in any way in what you might have read or heard about how it ought to be. Everybody's just different, or so it would seem. Anyway, that's the way it is for me. And yeah, I just want to say I had the most beautiful, very, very subtle. It was so subtle, opening late last night as I lay in bed sort of reviewing this beautiful week. And the whole world just collapsed inside of me. And yeah. So the work is ongoing, being willing to help others and be with others and offer that support has been super amazing, and how it's shown up in my life. So I really wanted to thank Dan and Lila so much. And everybody here had a little crisis at one point and went talking to Tayama and Alex, and they were very helpful. So our facilitators are a great group, and I'm so very, very grateful. And a shout out to Zoo, who was my original roommate at the IAM retreat over a year and a half ago. And yeah. So anyway, thank you all so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. Oh my God.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah. Yeah. Deep gratitude for you and all the facilitators. Yeah. Thank you.
Much love, Lisa.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Which is actually a wonderful segue. Lisa had mentioned Lila, and a few people have been asking for Lila. So she has agreed to call upon Lila. So Lila, it's your turn.
Awesome.
And you didn't have your hand up, so let me see, where are you? Here you are.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I also would like to start with just thanking Tayama and Alex for an incredible work that you do behind the scenes and keeping the container together, and all the incredible facilitators for showing up and being here with us. Thank you so much. This is the first retreat I am participating in, and it's been an incredible experience. And listening to you, my amazing partner,
the first one, you're a participant, but you've been part of them all along.
As a participant.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, not participating, but
yes,
as a participant.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times I hear you speak, it's always incredibly deep, and your direct pointing is just direct.
Thank you, babe.
It lands as a, the source, coming from the source is just like that. And what I would like to share is that there had been a lot of discomfort and frustration till about day 3 of the retreat. And it was right during the meditation when you did direct pointing about awareness, just being aware. And I was sitting there and there was so much pain in my body. There was so much agitation in my mind. And then, and then this thought came through. I said, help me not to, because my body moved, and the thought was like, help me not to do what the mind is saying, like not to move. And in that moment, there was this recognition that there is a thought, a belief that I am this separate person who is suffering, who is trying to meditate properly, that I am this separate person who is believing that there is somewhere to get to, and that I could see clearly that I was not suffering. And it didn't matter that, it doesn't matter that if the body is comfortable or if it's in pain, because I'm not the body. And it was so interesting to see the story of this little character going for liberation. And it's like, I am not the one trying to get liberated. And you know what? There was this amazing relaxation into understanding that everything is perfect as it is. That this movie of life can go on in any direction. If the character, if this thought, if there's a belief, a thought of anything other than what's actually arising, then there is that contraction, that resistance to what is. So in the moment, it was so clear again, that what is really, really, truly very similar to that moment of realization is that beautiful metaphor that Ramana Maharshi explains so beautifully about the snake and the rope, which never used to drop. There was never, when I could say I understood, because the mind couldn't understand it. But now it is that snake, that illusion, that represents that world that we typically perceive with all the separate objects and separate individuals and experiences. And then there is the rope, the ultimate reality, the nature of reality that's always beneath our perceptions. And then there is the moment of realization. So this perception of illusion is just overlaid on awareness. It doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't add or take away from awareness of who we are. So, and then the realization, that was really, really the truth again, is that to see it again, that the rope and the snake aren't two separate things. That there's only ever been the rope.
Yeah.
That there is only just me. That there's only just this I that's aware. And the rest is the snake, but the snake is not. The snake and the rope are one. And there's only the rope. And I have to add that this is after 2.5 years of recognizing this again. So as soon as thoughts come back and we believe again that we are this separate person who wanting, who needing, who desiring, then there is this mesmerization, this hypnotization of the movie. And what you teach is so beautiful, just to recognize who we are, to see that. Because when we recognize, see that, then the movie is not personal. Because it's not happening to us. Awareness is never affected by however the story unfolds. So yes, your retreats are about the truth, about always pointing to the self. So when the self hears it on the other side of this computer, it can recognize the truth. So when the truth is spoken, it is heard, but not by the mind. So thank you. And thank you all for being here and being part of this beautiful unfolding. And yeah, it's no words. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. It's beautiful. That was a beautiful pointing in and of itself. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Nila.
Oh, and by the way, I think we could maybe hear from Tayama.
That's a good idea.
She never has a turn. She's so kind and generous. And
yeah, that would be lovely. Yes.
Thank you, Lila.
Thank you,
Yeah, I am just so grateful for the team and Dan and Lila and Alex and all the facilitators and every single one of you. As I fall in love with myself, I fall in love with each one of you. I also was experiencing a lot of pain in the meditations. And yeah, and there was some frustration. And I think it's day 3 for me as well. I went into the pain and the texture, and I can't remember. I think it was Ryan who asked about the pain, and it was so helpful. And I went into the textures of the pain and where it was moving, and all of a sudden it became a game of curiosity. And all of a sudden it transformed from pain into this blissful xylophone. It was like a xylophone taser in the body. And it was so beautiful. And then I went for a walk, because sitting in front of the computer for hours in front of is tough on this body. And I went for a walk in the rain. And I've always apologized to Mother Earth for garbage, for not picking up all the garbage that I see. And as I was contemplating and self-inquiry, I looked down and the chinks, how Zoo would say it all clinked into place, or how the veil pulled away and nothing is needed, and oneness was here, which is always here. It can never not be here. And I stared at the garbage for 5 minutes. I fell in love with the garbage, and it sounds crazy. The garbage, yeah, taught me in that moment, there is no snake. The snake was my garbage. So thank you for your share, Lila. It just is so beautiful to be here with each of you. So humbled and so honored and so in love with the aliveness of the rope and the snake. Such a good analogy.
That's
Yeah. Thank you
beautiful.
guys for everything. I
Yeah.
love you.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do and all your magic behind the scenes. And Tayama was matchmaking, like hooking the right people in the right dyads and everything. So there's a whole magical web that she's weaving in the background there. Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll call upon Elena.
Hi, Elena.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Dan and the team, for this little journey. I remember I shared in the middle of the retreat my concern that nothing was happening to me, and I was quite indifferent to any practice. So I'm happy to admit now that it has changed and something cracked inside myself, and I became sensitive, and I started to have all kind of different experiences on the levels of mind, body, life. And it's so marvelous and precious to me because before, for probably 4 years, I've been doing different types of yoga and meditation, and it didn't work on me. And I was asking my fellow meditators and teachers whether should anything happen at any level. And I was told just to carry on my practice and not pay attention on the results of it. And it felt a little bit wrong. And now I guess, thanks to you all, I got right attitudes toward my sadhana, and I got the whole picture of these structures of mind, body, awareness. And it helped me a lot to progress. Even when I did my sadhana from different yoga in between our practices, it felt completely different. So I'm really thankful for you for that.
Wonderful.
And I have a little question concerning further dyads. Is it fine to stick to one partner in the future and be comfortable with that partner? Or it's better to change and have different partners?
Yeah, I think it depends. Either way, I think there is a benefit to working with different partners because sometimes it seems that different things will come up in front of different people. And, if we're sometimes in the dyads, when we're really comfortable with someone, there's a positive and a negative. You might feel very free to express, but sometimes the discomfort or the difference of having a different partner might bring up different things. So I think both are good either way. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Elena. Okay, we're going to call upon Monique.
Unmute there.
Can you hear
Yep.
me now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I am very nervous. This week, the whole week was so magical. It was so beautiful. It's I don't want to take much time. I have a question that I want to ask, but I want to say thank you to Tayama and to everybody that works so hard. And thank you. I'm so grateful for your teaching. It feels like I hear it like from the bottom of my heart. It's like you're taking the words, and it's just like it opened me up so much. And so I am so grateful. I am so grateful for your teaching. That's lovely. I had a lot of resistance for maybe last 2-3 years, like a lot of resistance to that, to the opening, in doing this session, in doing this week, like I started like 2 weeks before also unconsciously. I was just asking, who am I? And during the day, and I knew I was coming to it, and I was so excited, and I was already in it without knowing it. Like, so when I came into it, it was already, oh my God, yeah, I've been in that for so long. And there was a lot of opening, a lot of doors, a lot of space, and mostly lots of love, so much love, even including me. And that was the part that I was so amazed of, that I was that love. So that's how it started the first day, and I could not believe it. I was seeing that, feeling that, hearing that. So that really kept working. And my question is, like at the end, I would use the word me. It's who is that? It's me. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering if I was cheating myself or if I was wrong, or I'm going to tell you why I was saying that. Mm-hmm. Is like the first time I saw your title of the workshop, of your site or whatever, mm-hmm. It says Awakening the World. And when I saw it, I really just saw Awakening the World. I really experienced that it was me. There is only me. Mm-hmm. Like if I wake up, the whole world will wake up. Yeah. And that was so strong. I was so surprised. There is only me. And that kept coming back. There is only me. There's only it. And then I started to see everything was me. Like outside of me, it was everything is me. Everybody, everything. The good, the bad, everything. And then the love came in. And because I was going through a lot of nothingness, like emptiness for a few years, that the whole time that I was feeling that resistance, there was nothingness, like that. It was empty. It was I was stuck there. Like I never go any further than that. And I thought, well, it has to be something else than that. And when I started to have the experience that there is only me, then it opened up to that everything. It opened up to that totality, to that infinity, to that, I don't know how to explain. And it was so clear that it has always been there. It never went away. And that certitude that it cannot go away was unbelievable. It was so subtle and so simple. It is so simple. So my question was, because I keep saying it's me, mm-hmm. I don't know if it was like they say, lost in translation, because I'm French Canadian, so I didn't know if I was making a mistake or if I was cheating myself.
No, me is the perfect word when it's true,
when it's true, yes.
When it's true, yeah, because you're not talking about the little me, you're talking about the unlimited me. Yes. If you're directly experiencing everything as you, then when you use me, it's true. That's the actual truth. Yeah. So I when I encourage people to examine these words like I and me, all of that it's because our habit is to refer to the false I, to the little I. But we can't help saying me if it's true. If it's the real me, then yeah, of course, it's all me. So that's it. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I really felt like it was total, like it's totally me. But yeah, I started to feel guilty and started to feel. So I wanted to know if I cheat myself. I need to know now. I don't want to go on the wrong way.
When it's the big me, there's no choice, and it's only the
Yes.
it's only the little me that thinks there might be some problem. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Mhm.
Dan, we have 7 hands left. We
Yeah.
have past 11 o'clock.
Yes.
So it's your call. Are we going to take the 7 hands and no more hands and finish? Or are you going to give a closing chat?
Why don't we do like a quick like check with everybody, like
Okay.
just like 1 minute kind of. I'd love to hear from Zoo and Jana,
All right.
everybody. So
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
All right, everybody. So here we go. That's exciting. Zoo.
Okay, so, oops, what happened?
You're there.
Okay, my screen just lost. Okay, I can't see anyone, but I'll make it quick. My takeaway is that there's only one thing to do, and it's to stay in reality, which means whatever is arising, just be here, feel the contraction, feel the pain. Don't escape into the mind stories, the movies, the narrations. Just stay here, no matter how uncomfortable it is. The body is shaking, the body is crying, the pain is getting more intense. It's getting really hot and it's feeling unbearable. Just stay here, just stay here, just stay here. And then it just subsides, and then the mind will come in and tell the story. Drop the mind, stay here, drop the mind, stay here, drop the mind, stay here. It's just that one practice.
Mhm. That's it. Yeah, you just summed up the dyad process right there. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
life, that's
Yeah.
liberation, that is staying awake. And every moment is an opportunity to stay awake. Just don't resist anything. Feel this discomfort. Don't escape into the mind. Feel this, feel this. Allow this to happen. Burn in this. I have a picture of a monk in my head that was burning. I remember years ago. And also hear Lola's voice saying, I am here, branded into me forever. I am here.
Beautiful.
Amen. Aho.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh.
Amen. Awesome, Zoo.
Jana.
Hi, Jana.
Hey. Oh, feeling the energy of being in the spotlight. Definitely also one of those sensitive beings. So I'm going to take a second and see what comes up, because there's all these things that the mind, of course, wanted to say. I'm just going to see what is the most loud. Yeah, I think what became most apparent this retreat was this. Oh, okay, now it's coming up. Is this feeling that I haven't changed since the retreat I did 2 years ago. It was like exactly 2 years. But then yet, like looking at the development process, it's like there has been a huge change. And yeah, I feel like I'm finding the middle way, which is really significant for the character, or just for the, I don't know, development, I guess. And what was the most illuminating habit pattern, or just, I don't know, insight, I guess, from that whole retreat was, and I've talked to you about this already even since before the retreat, was just this sense of frustration that sometimes arises. And that's one word that I've used. Irritation is another one thing. And what was so clearly illuminated was, and in the dyad process too, was that the energy is just here. And when the mind is more in the forefront, there's resistance, and it comes up as often as irritation. And in the body, it almost feels like this wanting to jump out of my skin type feeling. And then when awareness is more in the forefront, there's no, like, there's just energy. And then there's whatever resistant present in the body. So what I realized was, like, the kriyas still happens today too, but even the kriyas have evolved through the whole retreat. And now all it is just energy moving the body. And there's a feeling of like resistance, like that, you know, those vinyl, or I don't know, like what the word is for the material, but when you shoot electricity into the plastic and you see the
Oh yeah, the Lichtenberg figures. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what it feels like is what's going on now. It's like
Mhm.
there's this, like you said, rewiring process, and like there's a direct experience of that energy rewiring the body. And when the mind is more active, there's a resistance to that resistance that comes up as frustration and irritation. But
Yeah.
then when I'm like, when awareness is more present, there's just that direct experience of the resistance of the energy moving through the body.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So you've removed a layer of resistance, basically.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. It comes and
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. Awesome. That's a big insight. Yeah.
And like the other thing too is, like, it seems like that sort of frustration and irritation is the predominant like emotion that arises, and there's laughter that comes through, but otherwise there is a little bit of worry about this at one point, or a thought like, I wonder if this is normal, that it's almost like there aren't any other emotions anymore. There's just a direct experience of energy, whether it's like somebody else is crying. It's like now it's like there are insights, and it's like there aren't even almost that many insights anymore. It's just like it's all energy, and there's a dropping away of any stories or interpreting things as emotional. And
Yeah.
I don't know,
Awesome.
it's feeling like I'm becoming less human, but just this idea of what I thought human was.
Yeah. Lot of insights and evolving there. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Jana.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
And yes,
Mhm.
thank you everybody for, it was a really exceptional experience
Mhm.
doing it at home too.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jana. Lisa.
Oh, you're muted there. Sorry.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I said, quick, thank you, Dan. Thank you, the whole team. Thank you. It's me. I can feel the truth that it's me thanking myself, which is beautiful. And I just wanted to share the poem that came through last night after the dyad, and that feels like it is written by all of us. I see without seeing. I know without knowing. I stay throughout every coming and going. I hold all in my loving embrace. Though I am no one, I shine through each face. I can never believe, nor can I feel. I can never be wounded, nor can I heal. I can never find myself, for I cannot be lost. I am the one true treasure, an illusion my cost. I can only be as I am, as I always will be. I can only hold all the world in that which is free.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. That's, yeah, beautiful. Wow. Can you share that via email as well? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's incredible. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. So beautiful. Razi. And I see Bushra's there too. I see we get 2 for 1.
Hi, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so I don't know what to say. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, Lila in the background, Bushra's going through a lot. We're going through a lot. Dan, you were there for us. Lila, you were there for us. The whole team, Tayama. We feel so safe to have her still be here and to still do the work and know that we are okay, that we don't have all the answers. But we're here. We're showing up. We're doing what we can. And we are just so grateful for the energy, the dyad, the people that were there. They were like our mirrors. It's just like seeing myself, talking to myself, seeing their pain and their journey as mine. And right now, there's been seeking going on for a long, long time. Right now, there is no need to figure anything out. It's it's it, it's there. I want to say something that happened yesterday morning. I won't go into all the spiritual stuff because people have said that so eloquently. Our bathroom toilet got plugged up yesterday, okay? And I was like, I don't have time for this shit, literally. Uh, but then I was like, this is my life. This is what I do. I don't clean up things that need to be cleaned up right away. And I was with the plunger trying to unplug the shit, literally. And I was trying and trying, and I'm like, oh, these are my thoughts. Like, this is my beliefs that are stuck. And there's water there, and like, I won't go into all the details, but the point was, for 30 minutes, I was trying. It was not working. Then at the end, I'm like, I should go to YouTube and figure out all the tricks. I said, no, I don't know. I went to the don't know mind within. And I just kept doing. I was like, just keep being. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And then I just literally gave up. I'm like, I'm just going to be here doing this thing. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll be embarrassed. I'm like, I can't fix this anyway. It happened. The water flowed. It was there. And I was like, this is my life, you know?
Wow.
Anyway, it's not very
Perfect.
spiritual, beautiful thing to say, but it was real for us. We
Yeah.
have to
No,
live with it.
it's a good story. The outer reflects the inner. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Bushra, please.
Thank you, Dan,
Mm.
Lila, and translators and everybody. Is very humble in seeing the patterns, the eye resistance, lot of resistance. Louis, thank you. Yesterday, because today you said that we are still doing the diet. So um, that is very helpful right now. We're still in the diet. And Lily, I need to mention you, Lily. Thank you for your presence because it helped me. Thank you. Thank you. I love all of you.
Love to you both. Love to you both. Yeah. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. Beautiful. Christian, it's your turn. Thank you for your patience.
Hi, Christian. Get you to unmute.
There we go. I was being patient with it. I was clicking and it wasn't doing it. But just want to reiterate everyone else's sentiments and sharings and from the heart, really, and just say thank you so much for this opportunity. As you notice, there were two names at the bottom. Pre triggered her back after day one, so apologies that she can't. We're going to go back through everything over the next week or so and sort of redo the retreat ourselves together, and especially the dialysis. That was profound on day one. So thank you. And I guess for me, the sharing that was coming up was that, we know this phrase to the degree that we do, which is I am that I am. Me, this was the lived experience of we are that we are. I just wanted to share that with you because that's what came up for me. And I was going, that surmises, those 5 words surmises what it feels like to be blessed to be on this journey with all of you, and goosebumps just to even share that. So
that's beautiful. I love that. I love that. We are that which we are that we are. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's if God's saying that to you through somebody else, I am that I am, and we are that we are, which is the recognition of that we're all on this journey together.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. It takes it into a whole different level. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Leanna and Kamaya and everyone in the background. Thank you so much. Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen, and blessings to Preet as well. Amit.
Hi Dan, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't sleep tonight. I usually sleep at night, but 2 o'clock I got up listening, hearing your voice that I won't be able to talk to Dan if I miss this opportunity. First of all, thank you so much for putting this together, and to the whole team of Awakening the World. And I did not had a flip this time because I already had last time. And as I said, my life is already changed. I can see the physical, like apart from retreat, I can see the changes in my life. Now, I just quickly wanted to say 3 things and get your this thing, because I'm a kind of a doer all the time, but I need to be careful while I'm doing, because I'm programmed in that way that my DNA is like doing, 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 doing like that, but I need to be careful to be also, and to bring my beingness into my doing. Now, if I'm making sense. So what I came up with, what I felt in my heart, 3 things. One is to be in constantly touch with the teachings, that do not lose the sight in your day-to-day life of the teaching, and to be, uh, to be in the touch with the teaching. Second, uh, uh, I have this resistance to money pattern. I don't know if you encounter this, but money has been always in my head, like in terms of resistance. Oh, when I will earn, insecurities, this, that, all. Not, I don't want a lot of money, just for a survival also, and to support my work here in Australia. It's been a big part of my cloggage. So one thing I thought, let me start with myself. So if I wanted to ask, can you send us a link where I can do a commit to a monthly a monthly donation or subscription, in a sense, not for Samadhi Center, for me to break that pattern, that I need to be part of the solution, not a part of a problem. And I need to do now. I cannot wait till something my mind, because my mind will always says that you don't have enough. How can you do that? But I'm saying, no, no, I cannot wait. I have been waiting long. Can you send us a link after this, where we can commit, means I can commit personally, because I feel all of us, if come together and commit to something today, that I'm going to do this for rest of my life, I think it will accelerate the work in a tremendous way. I feel that. And being part of the solution in a small way, I feel something great can happen. And this is not coming from emotional self or the little self. This
Mm-hmm.
is not a outburst of, oh, I felt good in retreat and I want to do some. No,
Mm-hmm.
this is very, very coming from my being. How
Mm-hmm.
can I? That so if you can do that for us, send us
Yeah,
something.
we will. Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm.
And third, can I have an organization here in Australia, which I do a lot of yoga and meditation centers. I have 6, 7 centers. And I just recently left my job, and there's a lot of going financially here. But what I wanted to do is, I already do 1 day retreats here, but what I wanted to do, is there any way that I can organize a retreat monthly once here in Australia, face to face, market that here in there, and are you able to work out some sort of a day retreat where uh, our organization take all the expenses, but whatever the proceeding comes, that goes to directly to Samadhi center. Is there anything we can do like that?
Yeah,
And
we
I
can.
become like,
You and I can talk after. Like let's connect after the retreat. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing this is coming up then is, I feel if I'm in a group, if I'm in touch with all the people on the same path, there is a less chance I will get lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I walk alone, there are so many veils in day-to-day life. It will pull. It has a great pull. No matter how many times I have awakening, but the veil and the gravitational pull of Maya is so strong. I think this is the only way. Staying connected, contributing, and doing the work with the people who are doing the work
Mm-hmm.
can keep me safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what is coming up for
Yeah.
me at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do a follow up afterwards and yeah, explore that. Yeah.
But do you think it's the right way to go about this? Wanted to, get being in touch with the teaching and being doing the
Uh,
work.
I think that the teachings are all pointers, to the direct experience. So if they're serving their purpose, then it's about recognizing that, and just being directly aware. So yeah, like my feeling is whatever works, right? Whatever works to actually be in direct experience. So yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Amit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Susie, last but not least, here we go. This is our last one, so no more hands up. And then thank you, everybody, for all your shares. Here we go, Susie.
All right. Hi, Dan. Well, hey, I
Wow.
think everyone said the thank you so beautifully. So I will say ditto to all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to add that I just think you're such a talented video producer. I really appreciate all like the productions that you've come out with. I mentioned Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds the other day. I mean, that was just like mind blowing. I shared that with so many people, and I just want to say thank you for doing that and reiterate how skilled you are.
Thank you.
On that. I got a lot out of the. It's funny, just like in essence, little thing, but the horse story and the war, who's on the right side story.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a little bit of like, I can get a little caught up in, what problem out there in the world to solve. I think of poverty a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to see these things and, like try to, what can you do about them? But I just like, I'm gonna ask this one question because like I think it's like maybe a level of my understanding at like a high level is so maybe it's a speculation question to you, but it might just be like, no, you're thinking about that. Can we ever see as individuations, like would we ever see could we ever anticipate to see nirvana or heaven on earth in individual states? Or is that like that's not, you know what I mean? You see what I'm asking? Like,
so
everyone together. Everyone together.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I think there is yeah. So they talk about this in Buddhism, where there are sort of different possibilities for the awake experience and the Buddha experience. So there's the individuals waking up to realize the one, but there's also something happening on a collective level where humanity itself, I think of humanity as, there is a connection between all of us, the same way in your body, like the cells are all connected. Like there are all these different levels of groupings of consciousness. So there is a collective consciousness that can awaken as well. So they talk about that, like the feminine aspect of the Buddha is they call it the Maitreya Buddha, which is it's a more almost like a transpersonal or another level of consciousness that, so as humanity sort of evolves, as all these little individuals start awakening, there is something on a collective level that it's like something new that comes.
Yeah, yeah, just like that heaven on earth, whatever. Like, did that ever happen? So I just keep thinking, like, to come back and we go through and maybe we remember a little bit more each time, whatever. But you kind of mentally, I want to think that then there's this point, you know what I mean? That it's working towards something. And
yeah, I feel that, I don't
okay.
no idea. I don't know
right,
what
I know you don't know.
Yeah, but it feels like humanity is going through the same thing that we are individually. Like right now it's a collective dark night of the soul, kind of all the shadows and all the egoic consciousness is coming into the light right now. So it's awesome. And yeah, where that leads will be really interesting.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah, the show goes on. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Susie. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Yeah, this was beautiful. For me on my own journey, there's no greater privilege than to be part of your journey, and yeah, it's just amazing. And stay awake, and yeah, I love you guys. Thank you.